You know, at nearly 90 years old, Clint Eastwood, still a badass. So The Mule is directed by Clint Eastwood and stars the man himself as Earl, who is an older man who, in order to try and make himself some money and in order to try and regain some ground with his family who have pretty much abandoned him at this point, he actually ends up working as a drug mule for the Mexican cartels, transporting drugs into America and into Chicago via just simply driving across the country, which is what he does best. So first off, Clint Eastwood in this movie is awesome. I mean, what is there really to say about the guy? I mean, it's Clint Eastwood. He's just a completely established actor at this point. You know, even going back to films like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly to this point, he's just such a badass, and he always keeps that mind frame. Like, just every film I've ever seen him in, just absolutely awesome. And he's just, again, like that here. He just doesn't care. He's just there to do the job, and he's so confident in everything he does, and I absolutely love him. I think he's just a tremendous character in this movie as well. And just, you know, seeing the fact that even though his family disregard him in this, for good reason, you see that he kind of has his own way of dealing with things. He has his own way of doing what he believes is right, and he believes what he's doing is good and beneficial for the family, even if they don't see it that way. And all of these things coming together make a really interesting character in the form of Earl, played by Eastwood, and I think he does a great job of portraying it, because like I say, just portraying it with that lovely smirk on his face, it just never fails to entertain me. And of course, Clint Eastwood also directed this film, and he did a really good job there too. I think the movie is really well handled, really well directed, really well shot as well. I was really impressed with the camera work in this movie too. It's just the way it swirls around, the way you see all the different environments, the way the camera pans. I just really enjoyed all the camera work and the direction from Eastwood in this film, alongside his performance. A couple of other standout performances in this movie too would be Bradley Cooper and also Michael Pena, who play these DEA agents who are trying to track down this drug mule who, you know, is causing them a lot of trouble. And I really like them in the movie too. You know, Bradley Cooper, I absolutely love him, especially coming off of A Star Is Born. I just think he's so good in everything he does. And seeing him here in this movie too, fantastic. And Michael Pena was a great foil for him as well. Just them two together as a pair was actually a pair I didn't really knew would work, but they really do. And I enjoyed that a lot. So seeing them together, just tracking down Clint Eastwood's character, again, was a nice little side plot for the film outside of Eastwood's main story. What impressed me most about The Mule, though, was its script. The dialogue in this movie is fantastic. It's just, the script is so entertaining, because it's really funny at times. And funny in a sense that it's just really subtle, really just under the carpet humour, like not outright jokes. Like, this movie doesn't really have any outright jokes in it at all. Instead, it's just the way the movie is and the way the characters talk to each other, the cultural differences and things like that. It's just a really entertaining script and it really adds a lot of depth to the characters. Like, you really get so much depth, particularly with Earl as a character, but even with Bradley Cooper and his character, you find out quite a bit about him. There's even a few lines from Michael Pena, Andy Garcia's character. There's quite a lot going on for each of these characters, and a lot of that comes down to the script, and it really impressed me on that regard. My only negative I could really see for this film is the pacing. The pacing is a bit slow, especially in the second half as the movie goes on. There are kind of points, especially when the movie starts to deal with Earl's family in the movie. There are a few scenes where we cut to his family, and I feel like those scenes did kind of drag the movie down a little bit. And I feel like, you know, they were the points in the movie where I was like, okay, things are slowing down, let's pick it back up again. So there were a couple of moments like that. It's not too bad. Like, I don't think the pacing's bad in this movie at all, really. I personally didn't really have any particular problems with it. It's just, I feel like at times the movie was slowing down, particularly in those family scenes, and some people might get put off by that. Overall, though, I absolutely loved The Mule. I had a great time watching this film. I just thought it was a really nice film that we were able to just to go in with, you know, in the safe hands of Clint Eastwood, not only as a director, but also as a performer, and all the other performances in the movie too. Like I say, Bradley Cooper, Michael Pena, Andy Garcia, and everyone else in between does a fantastic job in the movie, and the writing in the script and the dialogue for this film is the most impressive and most standout thing about it, and you'll walk away from this movie chuckling at a lot of the lines in this film, as I did, and my entire screen was pretty heavily laughing at quite a lot of the lines that were actually illustrated in the film, which I also really enjoyed. So overall, The Mule is a great film, and I'd highly recommend it, and I highly recommend you go see it. So have you guys seen The Mule? If you have, make sure to let me know all your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let's have a conversation about this movie in the comment section down below. And as always, guys, if you want to see more movie reviews from me, be sure to subscribe, and I hope to see you guys again in my next video.